100.
Kirchy or whatever his name is. He just fired him today.
Hello, so he fired the Kirchy dude?
Yep. Yep.
What?
Yep. Man, I don't know. They had some type of disagreement before the press conference, and he was threatening to fire him, like I think a few days ago or something. And then they got into it, and he fired him the day before the press conference.
So, dude been coming out telling black people about, hey, these issues are about you. I need to pinpoint that, hey, y'all need to watch yourselves. Underlying issues, diabetes, and all that. Trouble, like, yep. Hey, you ain't supposed to be one of them motherfuckers. Get out of here. Man, this man looking out for us and he get fired. Damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah, you know how it work. You know how it work, man.
That's fucked up for real.
Yeah, that jump messed. That jump messed up for real, man.
So, you ready, man?
Yes, sir. I'm ready. Let's roll, man.
While he wiped the coal out his eye and shit already.
Man, that's my eye itching, man. This man here done already started checking. Oh man, he put them bookworm glasses on. Man, you just left the library, didn't you?
Oh, right.
That man gonna say, that man put the glasses on like, today on Masterpiece Theater, we'd like to talk about
the word for today is facetious. Ivan is not being facetious.
That man finna be using it in a sentence and everything.
Right. That's finna be the word for the day.
Facetious.
No, I'm just playing. Well, yeah, it could be the word for the day. It could be the word for the day.
Facetious.
That'll be the name of the episode. Facetious.
Facetious. Facetious.
Right. You keep saying it like you don't know what facetious means or is. You don't know.
I have no clue, sir. I only have a 4th grade education.
Man, come on, man. For real. You know what facetious is.
No, I know what facetious. I've been facetious plenty of times myself.
Okay, gotcha. I was about to say, my nigga.
Man. This
what?
Yeah, let's go and pop this done off, man.
All right. What's goody? What's good? I am your host, Jason JWilldoes. And I'm sipping on this Zinfandel already. Call me AKA Zinfandel J.
Zinfandel J.
Or J Zinfandel. And I got
that boy said like he said, that man said like he run a women's underwear website, J Zinfandel.
Hey man.
Man said women's draws. J Zinfandel.
I got my guy.
That man sell women's underwear at empty mall. And then he done snuck into the mall here and there selling stuff out the back of that
joint. Don't pretend like I ain't hear that in the background. Somebody walking in on your ass. Yeah. And I got my guy, Sam, Ivan, the Grizzly.
That's me, man. It was one of my kids That's one of my kids walking in, man. That's one of my kids. I got to pause this video. Hold on one second to pause this video. Hold on.
Gotcha.
From the crib. You have to.
Okay, you pausing the video. I thought you wanted me to pause.
Yeah.
Okay, guess.
No. You ain't got. No, you keep going. You keep going. No, that's what happens when you pod from the crib. So you have to make adjustments because it's just like the the folks that's doing that be doing the news from the house, and
Right.
they got the little kids be throwing stuff.
I saw a clip one time. It wasn't this year. I want to say it was last year. Dude was doing the news or some shit, and all of a sudden, all of his kids came out. No, he was like 3 kids came to the room.
Yeah.
Daddy, can you help us, Daddy?
Yeah. And then he was trying to be all serious and stuff. And his wife ran.
Cool about it. He was kicking him out of the room.
His wife ran in there and grabbed her. She was like, "Oh."
Father.
Yeah, man. Oh boy.
So man. I feel weird talking to the thumbnail, but okay, there we go.
Yeah.
I'm talking about myself.
Yeah, I'm back.
Gotcha. So this is like what, week 4?
Yep, week 4. Week 4, man.
How's quarantining, man?
Man, it's just
how you holding up?
Man, staying away, staying at the house if I'm not working, back at the crib, ain't going nowhere, not trying to stick to the rules so we can go on and maneuver and move through this as fast as possible. But people just, man, well, I kind of understand why some people are not adhering because they just not used to it. And the fact that me and my sister were talking about this morning, the fact that government officials are not adhering to the stuff that they telling us to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think we talked about it last week, a couple of weeks ago, that they telling people to keep 6 feet away, and they in the press conference standing right next to each other. I'm like,
right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They handling the same microphones. You don't see them with gloves on. They don't have masks on. Like, something doesn't make sense about that. So, I mean, people are out in the streets. I'm not seeing it here in Memphis, but I know a couple of weeks ago, we know the Riverside thing, but like, man, I still see videos of people congregating 20, 30, 40, 50 people at a time. But I know that they start to enforce like large gatherings, like church stuff. You pull up to the church, they got police on the parking lot.
For real?
So, yep. They got police sitting on the parking lots, man, making sure people don't ride up on the lot to go to church.
That's crazy. People out here trying to show my faith is better than yours by trying to pull up at church. Like, my nigga, come on, babe.
Yeah,
come on, babe.
Yeah. And that's what's wrong. I think that's what's so dangerous.
Unless you Jesus Christ out here healing niggas by touching them, you need to be at the crib, man.
You need to be at the house. You need to be at the house. At the house, trying to get your immune system right, staying away from folks, and just minding your business. Like, I think this is a good time for people to mind their own business. That's what I think.
Man, we don't know how to mind our own business, man.
In this day and age. That's our culture, man. It's our culture to be like that. It's our culture to be so involved in what everybody else is doing and what everybody else talking about and, where everybody else is going versus what we supposed to be doing.
Right.
So, I'm just trying to do my thing and stay out the way, man. What about you, man?
Nah, I've been doing the same. I'm like a nigga who just got out. I'm I'm like a nigga who just got out the pen or something, man, nigga. Hey, this stick is nothing to me. Oh man,
This man.
this quarantine is right up. I ain't gonna say it's right up a nigga alley, but yeah. I mean, I'm an introvert, so everything that I do, I prefer to be at the crib anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So outside of, I would say outside of just going over my folks' house, seeing my parents, stuff like that, that gets to me. Cause, you know, of course I always want to hug my dad, hug my mom, stuff like that. But
right.
Outside of that, it ain't really been bothering me too none. The other thing I've been noticing, I ain't even really been on the internet as much. It's like now that everybody's on the computer or on social media, I'm off that bit.
Yep.
I try to come on every once in a while, you know, start up some shit, post a, you know, put a thought-provoking post up or something, starting up some mess or whatever like that, or kicking your ass on social media. Outside of that, I ain't really on that joint.
So you had to use that as a reason to be on social media, checking me.
Hey man, you be tagging me and stuff, so I be like, hey, okay, so I gotta come in here and check the nigga since he tagging me.
Man, I don't be tagging you and on stuff like that, man. I tag you and stuff that pertains to what we be talking about.
This is true. It was like, somebody, I know you had tagged me in something about if you were, it was something about if you were trapped in the house.
Oh, yeah.
5 people in your friends list or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, this nigga would not survive if he was kept in the house with me. This nigga gonna commit suicide because he been checked the whole time.
Man, please, somebody finna commit suicide, dog. You know, we roll with the best. You be in that junk in there watching old Dick Gregory videos, comparing them to yourself. I talk just like this dude.
Right.
Like, except for pretty much.
Except for that part, I ain't got that part yet. Hey, I realize all old people do that.
They all do. They really do.
I was looking at Cicely Tyson. She was on some show, and when she was talking to somebody, she was like, "Now you know." Now you know better than that.
Man, that's so funny, man. That's they calling card almost. How they ask questions. They ask the question to be like, and you be like,
am I supposed to answer, or are you just telling me? I don't know if I'm supposed to answer the question or what.
Man, just be quiet. Then you try to answer the question. They'll answer the question for you and tell you to be quiet.
Right.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay, all right.
Like I don't know how to respond to it. I do think that it would be a trip though if Dick Gregory was still alive and all this was going on. We'd be getting some real content right about now.
Hey man, so the fact that you said that, I was just thinking about something yesterday. It's real ironic that this coronavirus is out and thriving now that Dr. Sebi and Dick Gregory is up under the ground.
Yep.
I was like,
yep.
Dr. Sebi, ain't no pandemic been going on while this man was alive. As soon as this man is gone, this is our prime time.
And not just them two. Remember all of the doctors, the natural doctors and healers and stuff that came up that died. Yep, that died. Like I was reading it. I think it was Health Nut News or something like that. And all those doctors and nutritionists and all those folks that wound up dead by some strange occurrence, if you will. Yeah, just they had a heart attack at 29 years old and never had any history of cardiovascular illness or disease, or this person wound up, they fell off their house at 3:00 in the morning. What? Some person wound up in the river at like in the middle of the day. I'm like, come on, man. So it was a bunch of them that, had passed on from some weird type of circumstances in the last several years. And then, like you said, and then here comes this other stuff and whatever else they're trying to push, vaccination and all this other stuff that most of those people spoke against. You know what I'm saying? With good research behind it. I noticed that too.
Not that what I'm about to say has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. But did you hear Tavares Jackson died today?
Tavares Jackson?
The quarterback?
The football?
Yeah.
The football player?
Yeah.
No,
I know that dude was 36. He was 36. He died in a car accident today.
For real?
Yeah.
Hold up. Now I gotta look this up.
I was like,
that's the dude.
I was watching ESPN, and right in the middle of ESPN, that judge came up. I was like, the fuck?
Yep, I'm sure looking at it right here.
I was like,
former Bills quarterback Tavares Jackson dies in car crash. Yep.
I was like, man, if it ain't one thing, it's another thing that's coming to get you.
Man, what you talking about? That's the crazy thing. I don't know. It's just a lot. It's all. I know people be like, man, it's a lot going on, but it's always a lot going on, if you ask me.
Man, I don't know, my nigga. The year 2020 is like the friend of the relative that has come over to your house that wasn't invited.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Shit, what's up? Hey, what happened to this nigga? 2020 around here just taking shit. It's like the klepto. It's like the klepto relative you get, and you like, this nigga took everything.
Man.
Just think about like all of us, like December, we was like, hey, can't wait till 2020 come in. Everything, clear vision. We see things clearly in 2020, face ass. We all might as well go and take our glasses off and just be blind. Cause I don't see none of this shit. I don't see none of this. Ray Charles, come for me, my nigga. Come for me, Ray Charles.
Man, for real. It's been rough. It's been real rough, man. Already. It's been rough, Doc. It's been rough. Like, and stuff. But the
intro started. It started with Kobe. Do you understand it?
It started with Kobe. Yep. And we thought at the time that the Kobe situation was like the worst thing we could have experienced. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And at the time it was like, I remember, it's so much has happened since then. It's almost like it happened years ago, but it happened this year.
Right.
It feel like it literally feel like it took place 4 or 5 years ago.
Cause so much other shit happened.
It feel like, because so much other stuff has happened. It's like Kobe dies, and his daughter and those folks die, and then everybody's like, oh man. Then a month and a half later, you hear grumblings about, there's some sick people in China. Right. But not knowing that thing was already around when that happened. That stuff was already going on then.
Right.
Then when they decided that it was a problem, because, they said it wasn't a problem. Oh, it's not going to be an issue. They didn't do anything about it. Didn't close no borders. Didn't do none of that stuff. And it just progressively got worse at that point. And now look at where we are now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we went from bad to worse to the worst ever. You know what I'm saying? To just like, God help us all. That's kind of the level of regression, or that we went to. And they keep saying that, it's gonna get worse, which I don't know how they gauge how it's going to get worse or better, because it's nothing that we've ever seen before. So,
Well,
I
think how they gauge how it's going to get worse is you have that peak of everybody.
right.
Like right now, everybody is infected now. So now you should start seeing the downward decline of people
Right. The
who are
decline.
infected. But
Right.
while the decline of people being infected, you're gonna start seeing people dying off. That's what they talking about. You're gonna start seeing the people who have died off after they have seen that they've been infected within the 2 weeks.
Right.
Like right now, man, they talking about another 8 weeks. We finna be stuck in the house another 8 weeks, man. Yeah, 6 to 8 weeks. 6 to 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm just trying to figure out couple things that's been on my mind about that. A couple questions that maybe you can answer for me, or maybe a listener viewer can answer for me.
All right. I'm gonna step out of view of the camera, but go ahead.
Go ahead. So I'm thinking about. So they're saying, or there are reports rather, that there's another 6 to 8 weeks that we'll be inside. There's another surge taking place sometime soon, and so forth, and which is like there's nothing really we can do anything about that other than continue to do what we're doing. But the time frames, I'm still trying to figure out where they're coming up with the time frame. Like, how do they know in 8 weeks that this thing is going to be has reached a point where it's controlled, or people are not, catching it as much, and folks are not being as affected? I just want to know where they come up with those numbers, because looking at the rate of where we going now, what's going on now, it looks like it could easily be another 3-4 months before something significant happens. You know what I'm saying? And so, I realize that. And the other thing is, how many people are dying and are going to die that are being viewed as basically as collateral damage? You know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh, they were going to die anyway, so this just kind of helped to speed the process up. And I'm really thinking about, what impact that's going to have on the population, and especially dealing with the elderly or people with pre-existing conditions, autoimmune issues, that kind of thing. What exactly is going to be the lasting effect on the economy, the U.S., American culture, and all of that? Because it's definitely not going to be the same. Like I heard somebody say, I can't wait till things get back to normal. I'm like, I don't think things will ever get back to normal. Especially if you're saying normal is like how it was in December of last year or something like that.
Yeah, right.
I don't think it's ever going to get back to normal, because
it's not.
I mean, I'm contemplating myself, like even from this point forward, when I go out wearing a mask outside. You know what I'm saying?
So, with that, I think that's what it's going to be. We are going to be, well, one, I think we taking our cues from China as far as what they doing, how they getting through it, stuff like that.
Right.
So they are watching China's movements now that they think that they have got it under wraps. I don't think China got their shit under wraps.
Nope.
They just don't. Not telling us that they got this shit under wraps.
Yep.
So
they report what they want to.
Right.
They report what they want to.
Since China they don't have freedom of speech, They can't just
Right.
be out sending shit in social media saying, "Hey, this is what they doing to us."
Right.
So we don't know.
Yeah. Right. Because their
But
social media is controlled and manipulated.
right out there it is. So
Mm-hmm.
you really don't know what's going on. I think the social distancing part is working to a point, but at the same time, you still got us knuckleheads out here that can't sit at the house.
Yep.
I don't understand it. Like, okay, even if you think it's a hoax or not, you don't care about your life or you don't care about your family life because you still out here trying to make shit hot. I'm like, dude.
Exactly. Exactly. Don't care. Don't have no regard for nothing. Just like,
Right.
man, be out. Like even though I just started really wearing masks this past. I mean, I wear them because I'm outside working in the elements, but like going to the store and so forth and so on, I'm wearing them. But I still see people, man, not wearing a mask, not. I still see them sneezing and coughing out in public. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like when you're not covering your mouth, you still just projectile and shit. Like, dude.
Yep. Just man. And the funny part about it is, they think it's something wrong with everybody else instead of themselves. That's what the trip part about it is.
Right.
That's what's so funny. They think something wrong with everybody else. I'm like, no, it's clearly something wrong with you.
I don't understand I just don't understand the need to have to be up. I have never understood that. Even friends that I have been around with who prefer to go to the club than a house party, I never understood that. Like all of us could be chilling.
Mm-hmm.
We could be at a house party, chilling it up. It could be live. It could be lit. We got all the drinks. You got all the music. You got all the entertainment, cars, dominoes, all of this. And then next thing you know, hey, y'all want to go with so-and-so, so-and-so?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
But you got that era of people who just have to be out.
Mm-hmm.
I got a partner of mine. Every time I see him on social media, he is out smoking a cigar. I'm like, dude, I know your house should be pretty straight where you can just smoke on the patio at your house and smoke a cigar, my nigga. Like, I don't understand it. Man.
Man, just can't, man. Just can't do without, brother. Just can't do without, brother. Just gotta get out. Gotta go and be around 15, 20 people. Just have to go. Like they can't, but that shows you the discomfort that people have with being around themselves, though.
You think it's discomfort?
So what?
So you saying that the discomfort where they don't like being alone with themselves?
That, and they don't like being with the whoever it is to stay at the house with them. They don't like that either.
Most of these people, I believe, live at home by themselves, though. Well, you know what? No, I can't say that. You don't know what people got going on at the crib.
Yeah,
might
that's
got
true.
2 or 3 bitches with them, so hey.
No, man.
Can't say.
Hey, it's all about like this time frame, people making whatever adjustments they need to make to be cool with who they are. Because you ain't got a choice. You don't have a choice right now. You don't have a choice but to be cool with who you are. You know what I'm saying? And something that me and one of my homegirls was talking about yesterday. She said that, man, ain't no VIPs right now. Ain't no VIPs. Ain't no VIPs. Ain't no my boy doing this and my girl doing. Ain't none of that stuff, man. Ain't none of that stuff. Everybody on the same level. Everybody on the same level, man. I'm interested in seeing how I'm interested in seeing what sports are gonna do after all this stuff is over with, though.
Dude, you said sports?
Yeah.
Man, sports is ridiculous right now. So the one thing I could watch religiously with no problem, without fail, was ESPN.
Okay.
ESPN, I put like this. This whole pandemic let us know, well, should let you know that the stuff that's on TV right now is trash.
Mm-hmm.
The simple fact that right now you're at home and you're able to watch these shows and stuff like that, you should be able to see now that most of your shows that we watch are trash. So ain't nothing on TV. Nothing of watch value.
Right.
And dude, we're on ESPN watching NBA stars play
2K.
2K.
Yeah.
They playing 2K. We watching them play horse.
Yeah.
Horse.
Yeah.
I'm watching Paul Pierce play horse.
Yeah.
I'm watching Devin Booker. Well, I'm not watching, but I'm looking at people watching Devin Booker play horse.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
They just got to be entertained. And that's the other thing. What are we doing for entertainment now? You know what I'm saying? What are we doing for entertainment? Because, we locked into that. We locked into that in this culture. We got to be entertained. Somebody got to be doing something in front of us where we cheer and clap and get mad and all those different emotions. So what are we doing to get our fix for entertainment?
But
right?
You know what
we watching replays of Final Fours and championships from 10 years ago.
Oh,
just so we can be satisfied, just so we can have our fix. You know what I'm saying?
Let's not even talk about the Final Four shit. Like, dude, we know what happened. I know who won. By how many points? I know it. I was there and watched the games.
It's so funny, man. Folks be getting mad like, man, I remember this game. Oh, man, it was horrible. I'm like, dude, that was 5 years ago.
You know the first game so ever since they played this first game, I ain't really been watching ESPN. You know the first game that they played during the pandemic?
What was that?
The game where
the Memphis-Kansas game.
Yeah, they played that game. I'm like,
yep. Yep, it sure was. It was a Memphis-Kansas game. It sure was. The one with Mario Chalmers.
They played. I was like, dude.
Yep, that was the first one that they played, Memphis-Kansas. And then it made you go back and think, like, if we had won that game, it wouldn't have counted anyway.
No, right.
Derrick Rose was ineligible, so it wouldn't even matter. So they just add salt to the wound. People like, man, Mario Chalmers made me sick. I'm like, it really didn't matter because
they would have took it from us anyway.
Yeah, they would have took that from us. Yep. Oh, yeah, the whole banner would have been gone. So kind of glad they did hit it. That way it took the sting out of a little bit. Oh, they beat us. But you know what they need to start doing, though?
What's that?
The teams that beat teams with ineligible players, they need to disqualify them too and make them play the next person in line. Like, if you got a number one team and a number two team playing against each other, the number two team has got ineligible players, right? Okay. So let's say you find out the number two team got ineligible players. Well, that means it really, if you're going to vacate the entire season, it means that you disqualified the entire team. So nobody did that season counts, right? The team that they playing against, in order to, I think, to have fair competition, should play against the next best team. Like if you got a 1 and a 2, a 2 and a 1 playing, that number 3, if whatever issues that one team had with eligibility, that means they shouldn't have been there in the first place. You see what I'm saying? So they should just disqualify them all the way and then let that other team that's left play against the next best team. And you should be able to find a decent winner at that point in time. I think they need to consider doing that.
I don't know about that idea, but I do think there needs to be something that changes with it. Because, I mean, in all honesty, cheating exists in sports.
Yes, it does. It always
You
has.
can't get around it. Ain't
Right.
nobody take away Tom Brady and they asterisk that they got on their Super Bowl stuff. We all know they cheated. And when they could not cheat, did they win a Super Bowl? So everybody cheats. Baseball, you cut out the cheating. We don't really watch it as much because ain't nobody hitting home runs.
Well, you got a few. You got a few hitting them, but not as many as it was when everybody was roiding up and stuff. Everybody was knocking.
Trust and believe. 5 years from now, we're gonna hear about Judd was juicing, or one of him and somebody else was probably juicing.
Yeah,
you gonna hear about it.
Yeah,
just give it time.
I think so too. Time. He was on performance enhancement drugs. That's what they'll say. Oh, he was on performance enhancements, and then he'll be like, "Oh, I had a bad cold. I was on some cold medication that looked like performance drugs."
Right. So you've been I know every time I talk to you, I be asking you about TV shows and what you done caught up on social media. You don't really be up on it. Have you been peeping any of these battles that's on the internet? You know, since we're talking about entertainment and all that other type of stuff. Have you been catching any of those?
Well, I caught the recap of RZA and DJ Premier. I caught the recap of that. It was dope.
Know it was even going on. Okay.
Yeah. I caught the recap of that one. Premier pulled out some stuff. RZA pulled out some stuff, but it was all in good fun because, I mean, really, it ain't no winners in that situation. Like, it's just whoever you like the best. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I saw the Babyface one where he made the announcement himself on Instagram that he was going to battle with Teddy Riley. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I really am excited for that because at first he wasn't. I think he was kind of backing away from it. I think he got diagnosed with COVID-19. So
really,
I think, but he's good now.
Okay.
Yep. He got diagnosed with COVID-19 and he was recovering and trying to, get 100% healthy. And he made a announcement from his IG that he was ready to battle Teddy Riley. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, yeah, that's going to be good.
Now, that'll be more so a win for the fans. Ain't going to be a winner in that per se.
Yeah, I think it's a win for fans. Like,
I don't know. Teddy Riley might win that jump. Yes. Okay.
Babyface catalog way bigger than his. Babyface catalog.
Okay, so all right. So although we are talking catalog, now mind you, they got to play certain amount of songs in a certain amount of time. So it depends on what it's being like. Hey, it's like Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. However you hit me with the hits depends on who winning. So that's why I say Teddy Riley could win because Teddy Riley, he got some kids and some grandkids in this music industry, I say. Babyface.
Yes, Babyface does.
Babyface he does, but he's not versatile like Teddy Riley. Babyface is going to be a lot of ballads. It's going to be ballad songs. Teddy Riley got ballads. He got a plethora of all. He got upbeat. He got slow songs. He got
Babyface got upbeat stuff too.
Like what?
They got plenty of upbeat songs. Like he's written songs for other people. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say maybe that's what I have to see. I would have to see the songs that he has written for me. Like, oh, okay, cool. I don't know all the people that he has written for.
Yeah, that's why I said his catalog would probably crush Teddy Riley's. And we know Teddy Riley's is extensive. But you got to remember, Babyface was recording when Teddy Riley was like a kid. You know what I'm saying? With L.A. Reid and them. Like he was recording when Teddy Riley was a kid. You know what I mean? So that's when you talking about like what's the name of the group? The Deal, when he was doing music with The Deal and he was writing music for all these different people, you know what I'm saying? And then he came back around later on, was writing for Boyz II Men, Brian McKnight, writing for Mary J. Blige, and writing for like doing stuff with Angela Winbush and all of these different artists. Like Babyface got credit for all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Him and Dallas Austin was putting stuff down. So like, and I'm not discounting Teddy Riley at all. Like I know, you know, Teddy Riley got plenty of work out here. You know, if it wouldn't be no, in my opinion,
I mean, you gotta think
it
about
wouldn't be no Timberland without Teddy Riley.
That's what I'm thinking about, the grandchildren that he birthed after the New Jack Swing stuff.
Yeah.
Blackstreet, all that other type of stuff. Aaron Hall, all of them.
Well, see, you know, you got to think about the timing for him. And his was more like that New Jack Swing was more R&B / hip hop, right? You know what I mean? It was more, it wasn't just R&B stuff. It was more R&B and hip hop. So he was able to, he was able to benefit from being in that genre, which it trickled down into another genre, which trickled down into another genre. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that whole sound, I think, you know, that whole sound that he kind of began also, and if you want to, you know, if you really want to pull some more stuff out of it, a lot of the stuff that he did early was Pharrell and Chad Hugo did. Right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And when they were kids, they were 16, 17 years old, writing music and doing stuff for Teddy Riley, because Pharrell wrote Rump Shaker. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I think he had more of a, he had more options when it came to, because it was kind of like there was this start, and then he had the R&B, he threw the New Jack in there where you could rap. You know, when you went to the bridge on an R&B song, and then you remember you started seeing more of, because you know, you go back to like the SWV Anything song where you had Wu-Tang on it. You know what I'm saying? So that was like coming off of that Teddy Riley, New Jack, Jodeci, even Puff Daddy. You know what I'm saying? Puff Daddy, the whole Uptown Records, that whole kind of sound, that New Jack sound, it just transferred right into rap and hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because then they started rapping over Jodeci beats. They started rapping over doing the songs like Biggie was rapping the songs with Total and 112 and all of them. You know what I'm saying? A little bit later. So yeah, Teddy Riley was able to benefit from that transition, because you could sing over his tracks, and you could rap over, or you could do both. You know what I'm saying?
So with that, and with the with all these other battles, I don't think this battle has occurred, but I want to say I've heard some rumors about it. I ain't gonna say rumors about it, but I heard a discussion about it. Okay. What do you think of Usher versus Chris Brown?
I think it will be a good battle. I think it'll be like the student versus the teacher, kind of, sort of.
Usher being the teacher?
Yeah, Usher being a teacher, of course. You know.
So do you think Chris Brown? Now I put it like this: Chris Brown has a lot of material. Do you think he could be Usher though?
No. And as much as I like Breezy's music, and I just don't think he could. I mean, there's one album, Usher's Confessions, that probably knocks out. Like, that probably knocks out Chris Brown, yeah. At least his first 2 to 3 projects. Like, they weren't terrible, they weren't trash, but just Confessions by itself, you could have made 2 albums off of that one album. You know what I'm saying? But it was so, like, the album was so knocking, and the fact that the content of the music was, you know, it was relative. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could listen to what Usher was saying and put yourself in his shoes at that time. I think he was really, I think Jermaine Dupri wrote Confessions, the song, and people thought it was Usher talking about himself, but I think he was talking about Jermaine Dupri or something like that.
Now,
And,
I think can't nobody mess with Jermaine Dupri. Don't nobody want to see Jermaine Dupri in any kind of battle. I would say the only person Jermaine Dupri could probably battle against would be Quincy Jones.
Nah, Dr. Dre.
Okay, I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand what I mean when I'm saying Jermaine Dupri. When I'm saying Jermaine Dupri and his catalog, I ain't just talking about his beats and music. I'm talking about he write for people too.
I know he does. I know he does.
Dr. Dre don't write for nobody. He just produces music.
So are we going to?
That's why I said Jermaine Dupri and Quincy Jones.
I wouldn't even want to battle Quincy Jones. I don't care how much writing I've ever done. I would never battle Quincy Jones because that's a loss. That's an L right off the bat.
True, but what I'm meaning by that is that that's just how great Jermaine Dupri's catalog is. It's a wide range of music.
It is.
That people think, okay, like perfect example, Crisscross. People think that the rappers wrote their whole album. Jermaine Dupri wrote their whole album. Crisscross just performed it.
Okay. I didn't know that. I ain't think now, of course, them being kids, I'm not surprised by that. I didn't know that he wrote the whole thing.
If you listen to Jermaine Dupri, when he tell the Crisscross story, he went and found them in the mall. They weren't rappers. They weren't rappers at all. He turned them into that. He just said, hey, rap this, and I got everything else. So he dressed them. He gave them their own personality. And he wrote their whole album, 1 and 2.
Wow. I didn't know that.
So he did Crisscross. He did Usher. I want to say, I'm sure he probably wrote for the Brat song. He wrote for Jagged Edge.
Right.
Everything. That's the only reason why I put him in the category of Quincy Jones. Because can't name somebody else who has that same catalog like Jermaine Dupri. He wrote for Escape. He wrote for Janet Jackson.
I'm gonna say Dallas Austin.
He just had a battle too. He battled somebody this weekend.
I'm gonna say Dallas Austin. Dallas Austin is probably right there with Jermaine Dupri.
Okay, so
as far as like his catalog, writing and producing, Dallas Austin has got to be in there.
Okay.
Because then you think about Dallas Austin probably produced music that you didn't even know he did, but you look at the credits and there his name is on it. Especially like, and then even from a crossover success point, like from crossover mainstream success, Dallas Austin was doing stuff like the whole first Boyz II Men album. Dallas Austin did that one. It went.
Motown.
I think it's down. Yeah, I think it's like Diamond or something like that. The second album, I think he stepped away because they was getting kind of. He said they got kind of arrogant. The second one, so I think Tim and Bob, and Babyface was of course throughout the whole process. But I think Tim and Bob, they hopped in on that one. But yeah, Dallas Austin. One person I would, they said the other day, I think Rodney Jerkins was supposed to battle somebody, and he kind of got in his feelings about it or something with him and Joe Budden.
I want to say Dark Child.
Yeah, but that's Rodney Jerkins. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, it was some guy that was supposed to be battling, was talking about battling with him, and he was having a conversation with Joe Budden about it, and he kind of was like maybe like got in his feelings or something like, man, who is he to want to battle me, like type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Mm. And I guess people was like, it ain't about insulting you. It's just for the culture.
Right. It's
you know
just
what I'm
for
saying?
the fun of it.
It's just for the fun of it. So he kind of took it personal or something like that. But Rodney Jerkins got a lot of stuff out there, like Brandy, a lot of Brandy stuff. Like he did, Rodney Jerkins done a lot of gospel stuff too. You know what I'm saying? So I think one person I think that needs to battle. I definitely, you know, we talked about DJ Paul.
Have you got any responses on it? The DJ Paul Juicy J jump?
Nope, not really. Because people are like, oh man, they ain't gonna battle. They shouldn't battle. They do stuff together. Like a couple people that I mentioned to, I was like, nah, I think they need to do a battle. I think Paul Juice need to do a battle.
So I really think that needs to be revisited, because I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast and they was talking about, he was saying, don't nobody want to fuck with Juicy J. And that's what I'm saying.
That's what Joe Budden said?
Yeah.
Wow. You need to send me the link to that. I want to see it.
That's on there. I want to say their very last podcast. But he was saying, like, it's some people that he can see that don't nobody want to battle against. Juicy J will be one of them.
Wow.
Like, Juicy J has music that people don't realize that he produced. He don't say nothing about it.
Right. He collecting them coins from it, though.
He's done Taylor Swift. He's done a song with Celine Dion. He is producing music people don't know. You like, yeah. Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because yeah, I think Juicy,
I would like to see Juicy. I put like this: the reason why we probably won't see Juicy and Paul is because Juicy is above Paul right now, so it wouldn't even make sense for him to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I definitely think that both of them or either one of them should get involved in it because they brought so much to the culture over the last 30 years.
Hell, and even now we still getting samples of.
Oh yeah, music. Folks sample, because I remember the interview that Paul did with Vlad, and he was like, "Man, folks sampling my music and they ain't paid me." He was like, "But I'm gonna see them though." Right. He was like, "I'm gonna see them." He was like, "But at the same time, I'm still, I'm still kind of honored that they doing that." He was like, "I'm hearing samples, and of course, Paul got an incredible ear, like him and Juicy got incredible." Like, I give it to them. They got incredible ears for sounds.
Right.
And just, like, it's amazing. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, even back in the day when I think one of the dopest things that Paul ever did was sample Jodeci and Boyz II Men and put it in a rap song and put it in the tape. Oh man, it's one of Paul tapes. But he samples.
Or it's just the beats.
I think it was just the beats back when he just did beats first.
I know the judge you talking about. It's no, that I wanna love you beat.
Yeah.
That jump.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah.
Yep. That man, he sampled. I was like, this man sampled Boyz II Men and Jodeci in the same song and mix them together in the song. The track was hard. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't think nobody rapped to it later, but that's the other thing. Like, he got all them songs that nobody rapped to. Right. And then when they started rapping, it was a lot of them was different. He had a couple of them that was the same, that he used old beats and stuff, but it was all new stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody else that they mentioned in the breath of Juicy J was Manny Fresh. Now, Manny Fresh, he did a beat where he mixed Back That Ass Up with Anita Baker. That's so hard, man. Anita Baker and Back That Ass Up.
Back That Baker up.
Hey, that's so hard. I was like, only Manny Fresh could do that job, man.
Oh yeah, man. I was listening to. I was in the car, man, listening to Number One Stunner. Now I don't know. I'm gonna tell you a song that's probably one of the most unique songs ever made. Juvenile's Huh?
Yeah.
If you listen to that beat, it's so unorthodox. Yeah. The beat's so unorthodox but at the same time, like, Juvie he was in pocket the whole song. You know what I'm saying?
Really know
It ain't really
no bass
nope,
line with
nope,
the joint.
nope, not at all. Not at all. If you go back and listen to that song, you like, man, where did they come up with this concept? And it don't even make no kind of musical sense, but it
Not to us,
fits.
it makes sense in New Orleans though.
Of course, right, because that's a New Orleans bounce.
Yeah.
Right, because that's New Orleans bounce. But as far as what was on the radio at that time, it made no sense. And then to show you how bumping was, when Hove hopped on the beat, it was a rap.
Honestly, I didn't like when Hove got on that beat. I didn't like his style. It didn't.
You know why I like?
I understood why he did it.
Did it? Okay, right there you go. That's the part I'm talking about.
He wanted to jump on that wave so New Orleans could hear him.
Right.
But
right.
I was
And he's always been like that.
Yeah.
He's always been like that. He was progressive in his thought pattern when a lot of New York MCs were messing with down south. You know what I'm saying? When they weren't even messing with West Coast, because they were still salty about Snoop coming through and crushing the buildings on that video. You know what I'm saying?
Hardest videos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, New York, big city. This man was stepping on
a dream. This nigga had gators on, stepping on buildings.
Man, it was so funny, man. But that was the battle mentality back then. Like it wasn't like, you know, how they doing battles now, right? And how they do ciphers. It wasn't like that, but it was still like that. I'm gonna go at you, you gonna go at me, I'm gonna go at your coach, you gonna go at mine, because everybody want to say about who's the best. And hearing Hov jump on that on the Juvie beat, and then you had, of course, but now I'm gonna tell you the ultimate flip for me was hearing Biggie on a Bone track. That was crazy.
That was a better link.
Crazy.
That was a better link. Crazy. And
Because Biggie and Bone was better than Tupac and Bone, in my opinion. It was better than Tupac and Bone. The Notorious Thugs was better than Thug Love to me.
I don't know. Hold on.
It was better. And it was bumping. Thug Love was bumping. Don't get me wrong.
I'm trying. Yeah, because that's why I said
it was bumping. It was bumping. Yeah, it was bumping. But man, the beat, that piano that came on in the beginning, and then it's on that biggie, it's on that biggie, and then that clap. When that clap came in, it was on. And then when he started rapping like them, I'm that dangerous. Ain't too many could bang with us. Straight up, we know Angel us, label us notorious. When he started rapping like that, it was over.
Like it because he flipped their flow in his rhyme. I like Pac's better because he kept his own flow and still his verse was better than Bones.
But you gotta expect that though, because that's Tupac. That's Tupac though. I don't think Tupac ever changed his flow.
He still kept his flow. He still kept his everything, and he rocked that joint.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man. That might be a good little tie.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. Notorious Thugs. Like, you almost want to hear another Biggie verse on that joint. Like, you want to hear Bone, right? Because you got to hear Bone because it's a Bone song. But you almost, after that first one, you really want to hear another Biggie verse. You want to hear Biggie rapping again, though.
I give you that one. I give you that one. Cause I will give you that one because I have a Biggie bias though. I like Biggie over Tupac, so. But yeah, Tupac verse is hard on that joint though.
Oh, Tupac's verse was like ridiculous. Like, I think that as far as like those sounds, man, like we've gone off on a tangent on it. At that time, and like you mentioned earlier, with Teddy Riley bringing out sounds and different flavors that you could rap to, or you could put an R&B group on this song. right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's what makes a producer, I think, and a writer way more versatile than just a MC that writes. Like an MC that writes. So that was what I mean. In all honesty, that's what makes Kanye West one of the greats of all time, because Kanye was able to write and produce. You know what I'm saying? And his
writing for?
Write for himself.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like writing for somebody.
Yeah, no. Just that's what I'm saying. For him to be able to rap himself and then produce a lot of stuff for other people and co-write music, co-produce music, and then he talked about even the ghost production, all that type of stuff. That's what pulls Kanye behind. That's what pulls him. He comes right in behind the Teddy Rileys and the Timberlands. You know what I'm saying?
Jermaine Dupri
Being
wrote
able
the
to put music.
Emancipation of Mimi. He wrote the whole Mariah Carey album, my nigga.
Oh yeah, but you got to realize Jermaine Dupri is music royalty. His dad was in the music game. You know what I'm saying? Jermaine Dupri came up in the music game, so I think Jermaine he gets the respect. Don't get me wrong, because he's a godfather of the sound.
I don't think he do.
I think he does. I think he does.
Not.
I don't think nobody check. I don't think anybody. I've never seen anybody look at Jermaine Dupri and be like, he was just no, dude is he's one of music's godfathers.
I hear people name other producers before they'll name Jermaine Dupri. And like, if you want somebody, if you don't have nothing, if you want somebody to come out there and write music for you, produce a beat, and style you, that's Jermaine Dupri.
Well, I mean, at one point in time, if you wanted a hit, you went to Jermaine Dupri. That's who you went to.
But see,
you think about Atlanta at one point in time. Hold up, think about this. Who put Atlanta on the map? JD.
Yeah. With So Def.
You know what I'm saying? Who put it with So Def? Who put Atlanta on the map? It was JD and So Def. And because at that particular time, like the whole trap thing wasn't even here yet. You know what I mean? T.I. was like in the early stages. So it was Jermaine Dupri. You know what I mean? Then you had Yin Yang. Then you had, and of course, Outkast was already doing their thing, but Outkast was more like, they were big, larger than, so they talked about it now, but you didn't look. Man, please.
What? Dude, Bow Wow.
This man said he gave us Lil Bow Wow.
He a diamond artist.
Yeah, he a diamond artist off of 2 albums.
But again, I would say Jermaine, now he might have not wrote the whole album, but Jermaine Dupri was writing for Bow Wow too.
Yeah, he was writing for Bow Wow. He was from Bow Wow.
I don't
tell that now.
I don't think people realize how good Jermaine Dupri's pen game is. How he real talk, he can really rap. So, I don't think people realize that he really rapping out here because he's writing raps for other people.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I also think that oh man, I'm trying to remember. One of the bumpinest songs that I thought I ever listened to was the Brett's Funkified.
Yes. Still is bumping.
That was, that John knocking to this day. You know what I'm saying? That John knocking to this day.
The simple fact, I put like this, the reason why it's bumping, because he said, you know what? I'm from Atlanta. I ain't even finna give you an Atlanta sound. I'm going to give her to rap on a West Coast beat. Because that sound like it's like something Snoop Dogg will rap over.
Yeah.
He made a West Coast
So
beat and had an Atlanta rapper to rap over this junk.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's cold.
Yeah. It really was.
I want to say the other producer I think people sleep on, and I want to say it was a battle that went on, and I don't think people gave him the credit for it because they gave it to the other producer, was Timbaland and Swiss Beats. But they say Swiss Beats killed Timbaland. I'm like, dude, can't nobody fuck with Timbaland.
So, all right, I'm gonna tell you what I think about that. This is what I think. This is what I think about that. So, Swiss gets a lot of credit because he was responsible for that rock, the Rough Riders, and that rock life, the dynasty. I think not the dynasty. I'm trying to remember what album. Yeah, that was Just Blaze. The album with the Jigga song. You know, he did that one. He did that. You know, he was Rough Riders. Yeah. Well, no. The one. What's my name? Jigga.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then of course, you know, DMX. And see, if you take Rough Riders, for instance, you mentioned this, and I'm gonna get back to the comparison between Timbaland. If you talk about Rough Riders and you think, man, you got DMX, Eve, the Locks,
right?
All of them all platinum artists, right? He was producing for, you know, he was producing for Jay, he was producing for pretty much anybody. Timbaland, I'll say to I think the reason that Timbaland has him beat is because Timbaland was able to, him and Missy Elliott together was out of this world.
Man, like, Missy can get a lot of folks out of here, man.
Yeah. Missy can knock down a lot of folks on these lists.
Men really and women. It was like she was writing for Tweet, writing for Aaliyah, right? Man, yeah. Kids are telling.
And then you take see what I'm saying. You bring down Missy, right? You got Missy here.
How many kids
you got Jermaine Dupri over here. You got Timbaland over here. You know what I'm saying? You have I mean, it's so many. It's just so many, man. It's so many, but just the names that stick out, that just automatically stick out. Those. You take Timbaland and put him with Janet Jackson. You take Timbaland and put him with Missy Elliott. You take Timbaland and put him with Aaliyah. You take Timbaland and put him with Jay-Z. You take Timbaland and put him with Snoop Dogg.
Lobster,
you take Timbaland.
Lobster. Yeah. That's all I gotta say. Just play that beat. It's over with.
Yeah. You take Timbaland and put him with who else can you put? I mean, he did. Of course, he did Big Pimpin', like UGK and Jay-Z. That was his joint, which is one of the probably most iconic songs of all time. You know what I'm saying?
Dame Dash, when he came out.
What he doing? That song, Pimp C didn't even want to do it at first. Pimp C didn't even like the song.
Because he wasn't gonna do it.
Because he ain't mess with Jay-Z and he ain't mess with the East Coast
at all.
And then when he finally got introduced to him and met him, you know, they had the little situation. Before they was shot, and he finally met Jay, and Jay was like, "Man, we just need to holler." You know what I'm saying? And he wound up, you know, they wound up actually kicking it. It was like, "Oh, okay, this cat, he all right." You know what I'm saying?
I think Pimp C thought they were cornballs.
He did. Pimp C thought everybody was a cornball, though. He thought everybody was a cornball.
I love Pimp C, baby. Pimp C be like, "Man, I ain't fucking with them dick in the booty ass niggas, man." Them niggas some fairies, man. He was also that nigga. He was like, man, I don't shake motherfucking hands, man. You know that's a nasty way to get diseases, man. He ain't shake hands. He ain't do none of that shit. He ain't mess with nobody. That man was older. He was like, dude, and y'all niggas out there running trains on a chick, man, watching another nigga booty, man. Pimp C was the nigga, man.
Man, Pimp C was that dude. But you know what? Pimp C said a lot of stuff, man, that you were scared to say because you thought you'd get talked about. But Pimp C said it.
Yes.
Like, he said a lot of stuff that, you know, he said some off the wall stuff, but he said some other stuff that you was like, man, hey, this man ain't lying. He said some real stuff, which I think got him in trouble later on. But because he got the shooting off. But then again, he was like, man, hey, what that man say, smell my cologne? Man, so you got a problem with me? You got a problem with me? You need to smell my cologne. You know I am. Right. And Bun was always like the laid back one, like, you know, like, man, I got to talk to my brother Pimp, man, because
I got to calm him down.
I got to calm him down. I got to calm him down because he get a little riled up.
Reason.
Yeah. But he was like, Pimp was the one who, I think he said Pimp was the one who was telling him to like stay at school and stuff. And, you know, and all of that, because Pimp was wild and he was doing his thing. And he said Pimp was the one telling him to stay in school and, you know, stay focused and stuff. So, yeah, man. Rest in peace to Pimp C, by the way, man.
Rest in peace. That nigga was really pimping.
He sure was.
It's only two rappers that I know who was really, really pimping.
I already know the
C and the nigga in the West Coast rapping Forte. Them niggas was the only two niggas that was pimping.
Oh, no, you got two more. That really was. Too Short of Ice-T.
Too Short was
Too Short of Ice-T.
Okay. I'm a peep you to some game that pimps have even come out and said.
Oh, okay.
Too Short.
Ice-T was though, right?
Ice-T, yes. Too Short. Pimps will say Too Short was a trick. He could never be a pimp. He's buying pussy.
Right. Okay.
So he could never be a pimp. He was always buying it all the time. Pimps ain't buying it.
So in his music, he was
talking about buying it. If you really go back and listen to his raps, he's tricking off in his raps. And Pimps was saying when he out and about, he tricking off. He ain't no real pimp.
Now I know rapping Forte was.
Man.
I know, right? Yeah. That man used to be saying some stuff. I used to be like
the new Ice-T.
Man, what? Forte. Rapping Forte.
But back to the Timberland, I think people be sleeping on it. It's weird how great Timberland, Jermaine Dupri are, but they still don't even get made mention of when you make mention of producers. I think we'll talk about Dr. Dre, we'll talk about the Neptunes, we'll talk about Heat Makers, we'll talk about Drummer Boy, we'll talk about a whole bunch of other people, but we won't make mention of Jermaine Dupri and we won't make mention of Timberland.
I think mainly because, man, don't nobody really want to battle with them. I don't think nobody really want to battle with them.
I don't think nobody. Man, I ain't even heard this before.
Yeah, I don't think nobody really want to battle with them. Just because, like, you know, I don't think nobody really want to battle with them because the struggle. I think the struggle we have as fans and even musicians have is when people start talking about who's the best or who's the greatest of all time.
Right.
And in my opinion, there's only a few categories that you can pull out who's the really like the best. When it comes to producers, man, there's so many great producers. Like, it's just too many. Like, for real. It just comes down to who's done.
Time, though.
Well, that's the other thing. So when you mentioned Quincy Jones, you got Quincy Jones, who would probably be Zeus, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Quincy Jones will be Zeus. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, nobody's touching him unless, like, nobody's touching him.
Jermaine Dupri?
No.
Okay.
No. There's not. You can't do what Quincy Jones did because you don't have that kind of time. Like, Quincy Jones was producing music in the 40s, like 50s, 40s, and 50s. You know what I'm saying?
Cause he's doing movie scores, all that other type of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
the RZA.
See, RZA is different because RZA, like,
he's doing scores for Quentin Tarantino.
So that's okay. So I'm glad you pointed out. When it comes to a complete catalog, like, what do we look at as being, for producers, that is, what do we look at as being, what's the criteria? So do they have movie scores? Do they have hit records? Do they have timeless records?
We might have to revisit this conversation for real.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to, because I think we're gonna have to. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to break it down into categories, because so we'll take Jermaine Dupri. I'm gonna use Jermaine Dupri, right?
Right.
You said one word, Janet Jackson, right? Okay. Another word, another name, Mariah Carey.
Yes.
I mean,
them two names alone.
You know what I'm saying? Like, them two names alone. You ain't even got to mention So Def stuff.
I want to say Michael Jackson too.
Yeah, I think he did some stuff with MJ too. You know what I'm saying? When you look at that and you say, who's produced for artists? Who's produced for all-time great artists? Right. Then who's produced for all-time great artists that have music that lasts the test of time? Like, you can play a Mariah Carey song. What happened this past Christmas? Mariah Carey's Christmas album is still the #1 selling album of, like, all time or some crazy stuff like that. Her Christmas album?
All over again. Yeah.
Like, what? Like, so you mean to tell me nobody else has made a Christmas album as good as that one? No, that's just the one that people like playing.
Ain't nobody coming out with Christmas albums, though. I don't even think Beyonce got a Christmas album.
Well, people are making Christmas albums, but they're not as big of a deal because there's so many artists out there. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, one of my favorite Christmas, but the other thing is, though, how many Christmas albums can you make that you're not singing the same songs? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know. Ain't nothing beating the OJ's Christmas junk.
You said the OJ's?
Yeah.
Or the Temptations?
Well, yeah, the Temptations. Ain't nobody beating Temptations Christmas junk.
Yeah. Because that just, I mean, it's a Temptation. Silent Night. It's just Temptation.
Yeah.
Boyz II Men had one of the top Christmas albums. But
it never gets made mention of like Mariah Carey.
It doesn't, because you had to think about her voice. You have to think about, they played that album in Old Navy, in the Gap. They played in the Christmas. They played in the grocery store. You hear it at work when you go to work during Christmas time. They play Mariah Carey. So back to what I was saying about Jermaine Dupri, those two names alone, as you mentioned, like, what can you do with that? Like, if he only produced for them two people his entire career, like, he would still be set.
Right.
Looking at somebody like,
he's so versatile, man.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing.
Because I can movie scores. I can go from making a song for Mariah Carey, Janet Jackson, to then flipping and going to making a song with the Franchise Boys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout It Low.
Yeah.
T.I.
Yeah. Or if you're going to use Quincy Jones, you got to bring up Isaac Hayes. You know what I'm saying? You got to say Isaac Hayes because you go back in time and you go over this period of time.
He wasn't writing and producing for people, though.
Yes, he was.
He was writing and producing for other people?
Yes, he was.
Really?
Yes, he was. Absolutely.
Okay, I need to check that out then. Now, I know my nigga got like 23 albums or something like that, but
yeah.
I know he got a plethora of albums, but I did know that he was writing for other people.
See, and when we talked about the criteria, you got scoring movies,
right?
You have timeless music, right? You have hit records.
I still listen to Spody Dolioshis. How it is song?
Spody Odedopolis. I can't pronounce it. They had so many words.
That's still one of my favorite songs, though.
Oh yeah, you had what did I say? Timeless records, hit records, other artists that they worked with and wrote for. You know, we're not really I don't even want to just really get into like accolades because that could apply to pretty much anybody. You know what I'm saying? But they get the accolades, the awards and accolades.
Because people who don't even deserve accolades get them.
Right. And also, the last thing I would say, as far as the criteria, who styled themselves, like who can, like you said, who did they father or mother that came kind of under them? You know what I'm saying? Like who else came under them that wound up being a great producer, a great writer, a great artist, singer, or whatever? Who did they bring out? You know what I'm saying? Like what? Because if you look at the Rockefeller tree,
you know what?
Like
I'm gonna pause you. So I guess I would say comparison then who should battle would be Jermaine Dupri and Teddy Riley. Because
that would be a great battle.
Great battle, and they both have grandkids. They got kids and grandkids in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
Now there hasn't been anybody producing wise. Well, maybe Dallas Austin that messes with Jermaine Dupri. But as far as other new artists, other new groups, other music, both of them alone, Teddy Riley and Jermaine Dupri, man, they got so many kids out here. Because Teddy Riley, like we said, Timberland, Missy, the Neptunes, Blackstreet, just a whole bunch of other people from that era. Just Virginia alone. Ain't Chris Brown from Virginia?
Yep, Chris Brown. No, he's from Carolina, I think. I think he's from Carolina. I want to say I think he's from Carolina. I'll look it up right quick, though.
Okay. And then going to the name Jermaine Dupri, you got Criss Cross, Bow Wow, Escape, Janet, I ain't gonna say Janet Jackson, but you got so many other people in Atlanta that you can just start naming off. The Brat, the Franchise Boy.
That's right. You're right, Virginia. Yep.
So it's like they have birthed so many people in their city, state. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can't say the same thing about Dr. Dre.
I think that's one of Dre's. I think that's when it's all said and done. That may be one of his, not necessarily downfalls, but I think over time, I think that there's probably producers that have tried to there's producers that have come under him, but they're not as widely known as the ones that have come under Teddy Riley.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're not as widely known. And plus, Dre has always been so protective of his art. You know what I'm saying? Like almost to the point of insanity, or now I won't say insanity, but almost to the point of he doesn't let people know a lot about what he does, his process, and all that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Because being an artist, you can be being an artist, you're insecure about your work a lot of times.
Right, right.
I know with me, a lot of times I don't post a lot of shit because I might be insecure about it, or I'm like, you know what, ain't nobody gonna really like that junk, so I'm just gonna keep it to myself. I have so much stuff that I just be sitting on, music, videos, photography. It's just you have so much, and you're like, ain't nobody gonna like it, or ain't nobody gonna appreciate it like me, so I'm gonna keep it to myself. Or
exactly.
You feel like if somebody talk bad about it, I'm gonna feel some kind of way, and I'm gonna come see you. Type of shit. So, and I think that whole thing when Dr. Dre had punched that girl in the face.
Oh yeah,
she said something negative about him. I think ever since then he ain't really did anything else as far as approaching the media or being seen with the media or just accepting criticism from the media.
I think he stepped that was what he kind of stepped away from because of that situation, and plus the whole being America's most hated group, being the one of the authors and the founders of America's most hated group. Like, I think with Dre, it got to a point where, you know, I think that whole thing, this is a whole nother podcast. We could talk about
Dr. Dre.
This, like Dr. Dre. They could take up a whole podcast. Dre is like, just looking at from what we can see on the surface, Dre is such a perfectionist that nothing is ever good enough for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, his best stuff, we probably ain't even heard his best stuff. Mm-hmm. We probably ain't even heard Dre's best stuff.
That's
I think once it's all said and done, well, because the only thing that really helped Aftermath was Game. And Game, him grabbing 50, him grabbing Eminem, and putting his music. Well, 50 was on his own. It was Shady Aftermath, and then he went directly to it was Shady Aftermath, and then he went directly to G Unit right after that because that was a part of his deal. And so, those three. I mean, what else do you need? You got 50 Cent, you got Eminem, and you got Game. Like, what else do you? You know what I'm saying? Like,
remember when he had signed Eve, Busta Rhymes?
Yeah, that didn't work out so well.
Somebody else.
Yeah, that didn't work out very well.
Because you can't Bilal and shit too. I thought that was gonna be a good little hookup.
Well, see, I don't think Bilal was the type of. I don't think Bilal was, because you got to think Bilal came from that underground neo soul Aquarian situation. You know, he was from that arena. But his voice, like that first song, I think Drake produced Soul Sister. I think Drake produced that song, and but I don't think that worked out for a couple different reasons. But the Dre is always like been so meticulous about what he does. I think it turns a lot of people off, except for when they're able to get a track from him, and they're like, "Oh man, I'm getting a Dr. Dre beat." Like, "Oh no, I'm finna kill it." You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to step it up. Because, you know, when it comes down to it, anybody rapping on a Dre beat, it's going to be a hit. Like, it's guaranteed to be a hit. Like, you remember when he did The Watcher with there was two of them. The first Watch, and then he did The Watcher. With Rakim and Jay-Z. I mean, perfect song. You know what I'm saying? Hearing Rakim on the Dr. Dre track. And then Nas was the first East Coast rapper to mess with Dre when he did The Firm. Remember?
Still, when they did. People don't like that album. Still one of the best albums. I love The Firm.
The Firm was bumping. The Firm was bumping.
That was a great collaboration.
Yeah, it was a great. Nas. It was in AZ.
AZ, Nature.
Yeah.
Even Noriega was on that joint.
I think Noriega hopped on it.
Yeah.
Yep. And so, one thing that I will say, and I'm gonna throw this since we talking about music and we off on this tangent, I'm gonna ask you this question. Me and my homeboy was talking about this. As far as rappers go, as far as like albums put out,
right?
Game does not have a single bad album. I will go as far as to say that Game has several classic albums that he does not get credit for. I was listening to
all of his albums is classic except maybe one.
Okay, there we go. I'm not. You already. In the last 3 months, I've listened to all his stuff.
What's crazy is we don't listen to it like now. If you live in, I'll put it like this. I think the reason why we don't listen to it because West Coast music is a vibe. And you can only, I want to say you can only listen to it when you on that side.
Or something.
So I guess we don't really listen to it like that.
Right.
But yeah, when you finally do sit down and listen to the Game album, you're like, I ain't even had to skip one time.
No, every single track. So this is the album. Now I heard all the other stuff, Doctor's Advocate, the documentary 1 and 2, the last one, Born to Rap, the album was so cold, dog.
Right.
This is one of my favorite Game albums. Was the album 1994? I think it's called 19. Hold up, I gotta find it because I gotta get this right.
That was a joint that was 1998 or something like that. That was a joint that he going back to that old school sound and rapping over. Yeah,
bruh,
it's on hard.
That joint was so hard, man. It was so hard. I said, man, but the production on it though was like.
Was it still Dr. Dre?
No, it wasn't Dre, I don't think. It was that was the one he did 92 bars on. It was 1992. So it was basically like he was going back in time. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't think Dre did this one. He may have did a couple of them on there. But listening to that album, dude, it was like, I said, man, but you know what, another thing, if some of Game's albums had to come out at a different time, they'd have been number ones easy. Right. Which I think most of his albums did debut at number one.
Yeah,
but as far as like, as far as like, man, going down in the history of like now, Game ain't got to rap again. I know he said this last album was his last one, but he ain't got to do nothing else. Like in my opinion, Game is one of the GOATs.
And I think that last album was just to satisfy his contract.
His contract. Yeah. His contract.
Now that I think about it, now that you say something, I don't even really think he got a song that was even on the radio. It really wasn't the best one, because I will say I really didn't like that one as much as the others. But like I said, I want to say I think he just did that to go ahead and get out of his contract.
Yeah.
But yeah, his catalog is pretty cool. But again, it's like a lot of West Coast rappers don't get made mention, or West Coast artists don't get made mention of in a best of anything conversation. Unless you come from the West Coast.
Right.
Because when you name anybody, because hell, we can name greatest artists and we don't even name Snoop.
I don't know why.
We don't never name Snoop Dogg. We don't never name Ice Cube is rarely mentioned.
I think when we were talking about our list, I think I may have mentioned Ice Cube. I think you may have mentioned Ice Cube on yours.
But it wasn't in no top 20 list.
It wasn't in a top 20 list, no. It was like top 50, I think it was.
So, yeah. I think I got one more thing we could wrap up. Did you have anything you want to wrap about?
Well, man, that's kind of what was on my mind because I was trying to stay away from so much of the Corona stuff. So, kind of seeing about listening to like a lot of the battles. I was listening to Sirius XM the other day. They were talking about RZA, so I was starting to, you had asked me about it last time. I was like, I'm gonna pay closer attention to it because I really want something else to kind of take my mind off all this other stuff that's going on, and start to dig into like the music, the battles and who's thinking about this and that and the other as it pertains to music. And so that just kind of made me start digging into what have been listening to and the sounds and stuff that I've been hearing. So that's what, I wanted to kind of talk about today.
What other battle did you check out?
The battle, I think the battle with Manny and what was it, battle with Manny Fresh and Scott Storch, I think it was.
Yeah, I don't think people judged that correctly. I'm still kind of upset.
I don't think so either.
But I'm upset with Manny Fresh too, though. That was his fault because he
almost seemed unprepared or something.
He didn't play something. What happened to that boy. He didn't play that jump.
Yeah.
He didn't play I'm a number one stunner.
Yeah. You got to play that. You got to play number one stunner, man.
Right, you got to play number one stunner. What happened to that boy? And some other. I'm like, dude, what you doing?
Yeah. You got to play your hits.
And to me, this is just me. I don't think Scott Storch should have won the battle because of the simple fact he didn't make none of the beats. He has like okay, if I'm just adding a string, if I'm just adding a violin in the beat, nigga, that's a collaboration. You didn't make that track.
Right, you just added something to it.
Right, you're adding something to it. Like, so he gets to come in on, or say he produced a beat that has Dr. Dre on it. Like he jumped in and threw a song that the Gwen Stefani and Eve song.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That one.
He put that one
on. That's
a
Dre song.
Dre did that beat.
Yeah, that's a Dre song. Yeah.
You didn't do that. But they gave him a tally by saying he won that junk.
Yeah.
Manny Fresh, though, he produced all of his tracks.
Yep.
Everything. Yep. So I have heard people say Scott Storch won that junk, but I'm like, nah. That's Manny Fresh all day.
Nah, Scott Storch didn't win that. Scott Storch didn't win that.
Like, I understand why people would say, because you're thinking about the music, you're thinking about the song itself.
Right.
Of course, the song itself is this is a great song. You got Gwen Stefani and Eve. But yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation about who's like collaborations and who gets the credit for producing the track and all that type of stuff. Like, it could be a nice collaboration, but I mean, if I come to the studio and I say, hey man, Jay, I'm finna do this track, I'm finna put this down, do this, and then you come in and put the piano in, or you come in and put the keys in, and then it's like, when it's time to get credit, like, produced by Jason Williams. I'm like, what?
Like, it should say produced by you, Jason Williams, and so.
Right. Or it's hey, produced by this group of people, like, you know what I'm saying? Like how Tim and Bob used to do, how I think Dallas Austin and Babyface did some collaborations for Boyz II Men, and Brian McKnight and Babyface collaborated for Boyz II Men music and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, like, Scott Storch shouldn't have. I don't think. Yeah, they didn't call that one right.
I don't even know who put that battle together, because I was sitting there, I was watching.
It kind of didn't make sense to me.
Now, I was cussing Manny Fresh out. I was like, dude, what are you playing? No.
Yeah, he played. Yeah, he didn't bring the heat. He should have brought the heat. Like he should have.
Do you not know your own catalog, my nigga? Do you not know your own music?
Well, then again, you know, the way Baby been acting for the last like 5-10 years, he may not have permission to play them songs.
Baby,
so.
like, don't you? Hey, you better not. Wouldn't.
Nah, them songs belong to me.
Right.
Yeah, you know, I'm just saying, I don't have no problem.
He could have played any Hot Boy song, any Juvenile song, any Lil Wayne song. I'm like, dude, did he play The Block Is Hot?
I can't remember. If he did or not.
He played The Block Is Hot. I know he played Bling Bling.
Yep.
He could have played. What was that song where it was the Hot Boys and 3 6 Mafia? Manny Fresh did that beat.
Wait a minute, the Hot Boys and 3 6?
Doom 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 doom. Doom 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 doom. That beat.
I know which one you're talking about. I gotta look that up. I forgot all about they did a song together.
Cause let me see, how did that jump go? Yeah, man. Cause I want to say it was a remix of something and 3 6 Mafia got on that jump.
I think it was.
It was a remix of Hot Boys.
It was
a remix. I want to say
it was Hypnotized Cash Money. It was crazy. It was their album Crazy in the Last Days.
Yeah, but Manny Fresh did that jump because it was a remix of one of their other songs.
Yeah.
I want to say. Come on, let me see. Boys. Play it while you hate.
Play it while you hate. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. That was a hard little beat.
It was a hard. Yeah, that was one that they made that Paul made before then, wasn't it?
Now that might have been a beat that they did all together.
Okay.
It sounds like you can hear a little bit of Manny Fresh in the beat,
and you can hear some Paul in there too.
Yeah. So I forgot all about this. To the club.
Yeah, 3 6 had 4 different names. 3 6.
Yeah, 3 6 Mafia to the club.
First it was triple 6 Mafia. Then they changed it to 3 6. They changed it to 3 6.
Yeah, they weren't gonna make no business with triples.
Yeah, right. Then they changed it to 3 6. Then it was Tear the Club Up Thugs. Then it was Hypnotized Minds. Then it was
if you think about it, it's different members in each group.
That's true. Yep. Tear
the Club Up Thugs was just Paul.
That was just Paul Juicy and Lord Infamous. Yeah.
It was somebody else, Lord Infamous, somebody else though.
No, look, I'm looking at it right now. It was Paul Juicy and Lord Infamous.
That was it?
Paul Juicy and Lord Infamous. Cause it was and then you had Prophet Posse, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't like Prophet Posse too much.
Too much, yeah.
They were cool. I want to say the best the album, because what was that album? Body Parts?
I think it was Body Parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I ain't like all the members of the group. Because you had Killer Clan, Kazi, and all them. I ain't like I ain't like the whole Killer Clan.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked MC Mac, Project Pat, all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Coopster.
Rest in peace, Coop. Coop was one of my favorite artists, man.
Yeah. 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 But yeah, man. Man. That's all I got.
Yeah, I guess we could. Oh, what shows have you checked out, man?
Ozark.
Okay,
I ain't
so
finished with it though. Ozark? Yeah, I've been on the Ozark.
You didn't check out the little Dicky. I can already look at your face and say you ain't.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did, sir.
Oh, you did see Dave?
Yeah, yes, I did, sir.
How you
that show? That show is absolutely ridiculous.
I'm telling you, man, this shit is hilarious.
This show is ridiculous. Oh my God, that show is ridiculous, man. Oh man,
people have been sleeping on the show. I'm like, dude,
man, the man started.
People might have your reservations about culture vultures or whatever.
Yeah,
this show is fucking hilarious.
I saw the joint where he rapped for YG, and they took his money. They took his. Oh my God, man, it was hilarious. It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
Freestyle that he did. I like the little freestyle that he did in the little studio.
That he did.
You know what? This is dope, man.
Yep.
Every you know what? How I look at it, it's kind of like I don't want to say it like this because then it'll be like culture misappropriation, but it's kind of like a white Atlanta show.
It kind of is. It really is. It really is.
It's like the day-to-day life in a Jewish rapper's life, and each episode is about a different person. Cause like even the black dude, he got his own episode, Gator. I like his episode. Everything just been cool. It's a cool little vibe on it.
Yes, I like it. I like that show.
What other junk that you picked up?
Man, I ain't really had too much time outside of those because of working and whatnot. So I was able to catch Dave last week. I caught it last week. Matter of fact, I watched 2 episodes, and then
30 minutes.
Yeah. So I caught 2 episodes of that, and caught the first 2 episodes of Ozark, and something else I watched. I can't remember what it is, but I'll probably take some out in a minute. I'll probably take something else out. I'll probably watch another episode of Ozark tonight for a little bit.
Yeah, I'll probably get up on it. I've been catching up on this. I was watching this show, then I kind of fell back on it. It's called The Good Fight. But it was a follow-up off the show called The Good Wife, which is it's a lawyer show. But it's pretty good, so I've been catching back up on it. But hey man, they talking about we're gonna be quarantined for another 6 to 8 weeks. You ain't got nothing but time to catch up on this show.
That's what I'm saying. That and man, get rest if you need some. Like I ain't one of them people that's like, oh, you need to be doing this, man. Get some rest. I get people need to get rest, man.
Still. I know people can't sit still. It's like, man, I gotta do so and so. Hey man, this is time for you to rest your feet. You've been working too long, man. You sit down, get some things together, some other little plans, what your next move gonna be, type of thing, or start getting handed. Start creating some other. Man, I've seen so many people on social media create new ideas. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. But you know, they say invention is the what does it say? Invention is the child of necessity or something like that. That phrase goes. I think it is. So, you know, when people are in need, which sometimes, like I said, we all on the same playing field now. Right. Ain't no VIPs. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no specialty orders. We all in the same boat, just, you know, trying to roll in a certain direction. And you have to get creative.
Definitely. But we can go ahead and wrap this junk up, man. I know I've been talking the old big face ass for like 2 hours now. So
man, I know you ain't talking about nobody face big, man. You look your nose look like a horse ankle.
Dude. You do look in the mirror, right? You are watching, looking at yourself in the camera.
Yeah, I'm looking at myself in the camera. I ain't got a problem looking at myself in the camera.
Man, you know what?
What?
You ain't gonna be able to see it anyway. Never mind. I was gonna say your nose about as big as this microphone over here, but everybody ain't gonna be able to see this microphone I got over here. But yeah,
they don't need to. They don't need to. But yeah, man. Shout out to all the listeners, all the watching viewers, listeners, everybody, man, is taking their time while being quarantined and listening to us talk our stuff. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Stay safe out there.
damn.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on.
I thought the nigga just hung up. I was like, damn.
No, I think the video's dropping out like every now and then, like going out.
Man. I thought this nigga was like, all right, I'm holler.
Yeah, I pulled a Dick Gregory on you. Huh?
Magic tricks and shit. But yeah, we go ahead and go wrap this junk up. I do appreciate the people who have taken the time out to listen to us while we are quarantined. Man, this quarantine thing is crazy. But we'll talk about that on the next podcast because, like I said, do need to take a break from this junk. Because now you know what? I'm about to get on a tangent. They scaring the black people out here. 70% of African Americans. I'm like, dude, stop it.
Yeah.
Because they really trying to scare the shit out of us right now.
Uh-huh.
But we're going to go ahead and wrap this junk up. I am your host, Jason JWilldoes. Got this guy here. Big ass almond Eminem face ass nigga.
That's all right. That's all right. You gonna get it back. You gonna get it back. That will be me. That is me.
Dude.
Ivan the Great.
I will say, you know what, we off on a tangent. We wrapping it up. But I will say, my nigga, I respect that you can cut your own hair, man, because right now, I'm out here looking like DJ Khaled up on this do-rag, my nigga.
Man, yeah.
I gotta learn how to cut my shit, man.
That man hair look like Easter basket grass. Yeah. You thought you had got by. You thought you had slipped through the cracks. I've been waiting on
who, my hair? I thought you were talking about DJ Khaled.
No, I'm talking about yours. Yours and DJ Khaled.
Yes, that nigga hair do like Easter basket grass. But no, mine ain't like that shit, but shit. This very big do-rag gonna be on my hair, on my head for the next 2 months.
That man gonna take that joint out, man. It's gonna your hair gonna look like the mayor of Chicago.
These sideburns over here, my nigga, it's man,
you better get them electric shavers, man. Start trimming that joint up yourself.
I'm gonna look like an extra. I'm gonna start looking like an extra from The Wire. Hey man, you got them blue ties, man. Shit, nigga. Oh man. I'm done checking myself.
All right, man.
All right, we gotta get about it. We out on a tangent.
All right.
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. We out. Holla.